Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us once again for another, share of Changing Times. And I thank you also for staying steadfast with us. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for sharing this information, for subscribing, for inviting others. I continue to encourage you to invite, to tell, others about it. Each one reach one, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We hope that we continue to grow this channel, and we hope, importantly, that what we share here is something that will bring, about changes in other people's lives, bring about a difference in some people's lives. We hope that this information will reach a heart or two or many that will appreciate that change is, part of life, and we have no choice but to thrive through the changes. So I thank you for being a part of this journey. Previously, we talked about grief. Grief as emotions tied to loss. Today, we talk about the specific emotion of shock, disbelief, numbness, and all the different ways we feel about the first reception of information of loss. I just named those, but there may be different ways that we feel. But the first reception, the first time you hear about loss, the actual loss, there is a feeling tied to it. And we react differently. While some people may pass out, some people may just sit still, some people may, shout. So we give it different reactions. But it's all, the reaction of the shocking news of loss. Now, in my particular state, in my loss, I was privileged to nurse my loved one for some time. And while I nursed him, I did not ever expect or think that he would pass, because there was progress, there was goodness in the way he was progressing. And even if he wasn't, I think in my mind, I knew that he was going to make it. And nothing beats the hope that someone carries when they are going through a certain stage of life. So when I was told that he was passing, I got up and actually looked at him. And as he expired, the different things that went through my mind were shocking. But it did not sit well. So I decided to walk away. The shock went right through me, and I prayed to God to at least enable me to walk. And when I sat down with all the shock, I asked him, so what do you want me to do, God? How do you want me to take this? Of course, God does not shout. He will not, come out in a loud voice in that moment. But the disbelief that we had lost him was great on me, that I could not cry. I could not wail. I could not fall. I wish I could, but I didn't have it. I was so shocked that I sat down and asked God questions. And while he gave me, I think I asked him, what do you want me to do? And he said, I am here. And I continued to ask God, give me an answer. I waited on you in this moment. And he said, sometimes healing is death. So while I did not understand all of that, I knew one thing, that he's still God. And this shock, as it went through me, my body trembled so much, that I did not exactly know what to do. There was no medicine for it. Even the understanding that was my response was different. It's only a doctor who held my hand and told me, you have tremors. Your body has tremors. I didn't know that, but I knew that I was beyond words. I was beyond crying. I was beyond many things. My tears would come, but I wish I could cry a bucket. I didn't. Now, this went on for more than a month. And even when I went home and told my sons that, oh, daddy has passed and all, they asked, Mommy, should we cry? I said, do you want to cry? I could see that they were very shocked. They were so shocked that I didn't know how to do it differently. I wish I could deliver the message differently. I thought I did the best way I could, but I could see the shock, and I was in so much shock that there was a stillness about me. But for me, I was lucky to see him expire. There are people who were called. There are people who could not believe to date that their loved ones actually died. The people who see loss coming, but still when it comes, they don't see it. They don't expect it. So the shock of the actual loss takes us differently. While some will be falling down, crying, passing out and everything, others will just be quiet. And we should be expected to react whichever way we do react. Okay? There are these people who will give instructions. Now you need to do this. Now you need to do this. I think because someone knew about my bond, quite a number of people said, but you should cry. You need to let it out. Cry it out. And I was confused. First, I wanted to shout. I said, do you even know what I'm going through? I also don't know what just happened. But can you leave me? Can you let me go? I wanted to run away. I wanted to do many things, but I couldn't. There's a moment I told my mom, I said, sometimes I want to run away and run back to my mom. And then I realized that I have children, so I'm someone's mother. While I want to run to my mother, I have people who call me mommy. And that makes it different. It was complicated for me. If I was not a mother, probably it would have been different. And all of these things happen at more or less the same time. And you want to process them, but the capacity to process while in shock is also limited. Now, with all of that, there is many conversations ahead. Please do not let anyone sway you to a different place. Allow yourself to go through the shock whichever way you do. Mine was, I cried, but I did not see much drama in myself. And that shock stayed with me for a month and so. And while I could have even gone through it and probably done something, I was already into another state where I had to go through surgery. So I had this loss and I had another life event that made it different. So I longed for normal, but normal was far from my reach. And I'm sure many people who go through shock in their losses, they want normal to come so quick. They want normal to happen to them. I want to live my life the way I used to. But it's different. Shock is a different thing. That phase is different. And there is no specific way to handle it. But time helps to take it away. And when time comes, you will know that actually now it has sat in and sunk in. And there is also ways in which you understand that it's sunk in and okay, then now what? What do I do? So for me, it was that I was numb and I was at a loss of words and I didn't know what to say because my reports were always positive. And now I have to say I have lost him. My children also did not know what to do. They wished probably they could cry, but they did not even have the opportunity to see him lying in a different state. So it was different. I just said, that's dad, and daddy is being wheeled to the grave. And that's a different thing. To date, I have had questions. How does he look like? What is he like now? And I just say he's an angel. Am I sure about that? Maybe. But does my child understand what angel is like? I'm not sure. asked God, deal with this particular one, because I do not have the right answers. I know one thing, you have the right way for us to be about this, and please bring it so that I don't have to answer what I don't know. In that moment, I asked God to give me a strength beyond my knowledge to go through every moment before I ran mad, because I always thought I'd run mad at some point. But now I was just going through the motions. Thank God that I'm still alive and I still have sanity. But then I thought that there's going to be a moment actually that I'm going to run mad. But for now, let me just eat some food. Let me take some tea. Let me just be Edith. It's been months. And while the shock has come down and I'm going through different stages, I still go back to shock sometimes when I'm thrown off balance. So there is no script to this. What do we take from this? When we experience shock or denial or disbelief and numbness in the face of our loss, this is my take home, which I think can be generalized. Reach out for your anchors. There are people or things that would help us to be a point of reference. Now, in my case, because it was beyond me, I made just 3 calls. 1 call to my mom, another call to my husband's workplace, and another call to my friends. Just 2. When they showed up, I surrendered, and my life was run from that moment on until they realized that I'm actually stable enough to do some things on my own. So what's your anchor? Who is your anchor? Not everybody, because when everybody comes in, then you have too many things. There is this advice, there is that, there is this instruction and the other. Find your anchor and please reach out to your anchor. Secondly, do not think that there is a right or wrong way. No. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Whoever cannot put up with your vulnerability, they will go away. But those that can go through with you that vulnerability, they will support you. I've had times when all I have done was to ask Elizabeth, especially my friend Elizabeth, I only asked, what am I going to do? Like, that was always my question. What am I going to do? And she would say, Edith, God knows it all. God knows it all sounds ambiguous, but indeed God knows it all. If I am still alive and sane, God knows it all. And lastly, do not be in a rush to get there. There is relief that comes each time, each moment, each day, each month, each week. Just hold on to the hope that you believe or hope or profess. God is available, but we may not see God in a moment of shock. He told me, I am here. Did I see him? Not with my eyes, but my heart felt him. And in my moment of shock, when I asked, what did you want me to do? He told me, I am here. What can I do? I am here. So each one of us, in the moments we go through, there is a response, there is something. When we listen enough, in the maze, in the confusion, there is an answer. As I went through my loss, I got some answers. Thank you so much, and I hope to meet you again soon as we discuss the different emotions tied to grief. I thank you, and please subscribe, please invite, and please share. God bless you. Catch you next time.